Prime Minister Raila Odinga, who was declared the first runners-up in the March 4th presidential contest, and the Africa Center for Governance, AFRICOG, had their day in court to argue the merits of the petitions they have filed, seeking nullification of Uhuru Kenyatta's declaration as president-elect. AFRICOG, through lawyer Kethi Kilonzo, for more than 2 hours detailed how the electoral process was skewed in Kenyatta's favor, claiming there were major disparities between the registered voters and the number of people who participated in the polls.
It is my humble submission that this court should not shut its eyes to these irregularities. This court should not take a calculator first. This court must ask itself, and I will go back, what does simple mean? What does verifiable mean? What does accurate mean? What does accountability mean? What is free, fair, and transparent?
Kilonzo cited Makueni, Nyeri, and Bomet counties as examples of areas where figures were inflated in Kenyatta's favor, and in some instances, particularly in Nyeri County, Odinga's votes were deducted.
Uhuru Kenyatta got 53,253.
Through an audio-visual clip, Kilonzo outlined that in Nyeri County, the returning officer had indicated that Kenyatta garnered 317,802 votes, yet the final figures announced by IEBC at the National Tallying Center were 318,880. Odinga's figures at the County Tallying Center were announced as 6,075, yet the figures announced at the National Tallying Center were 5,638.
It's a fraud because it is in breach of the law. It is in breach of the Constitution. Daylight theft or night theft. My Lord, the only logical finding that this court can make, I dare say, about the results of Nyeri County is to vitiate the entire results of that county. Anything else offends the reason why Kenyans stood in line at the referendum to bring in a new constitution.
Kilonzo submitted that IEBC's conduct of the country's first general election under the new constitution was below par, and the presidential results announced by the commission could not stand the test of integrity and verifiability.
It failed in more than half of the country, and the IEBC say, so what? My Lord, you must tell them that this constitution does not belong to them. This law does not belong to them.
The Prime Minister, through his lawyer George Oraro, pegged his prayer for nullification of the presidential results on the voter registration and tallying exercise that he claimed were designed to disadvantage him. Oraro told the judges that the procurement of the biometric voter registration kits was marred by irregularities, impunity, and corruption.
That, like the many projects in Kenya, this project to try and have an electronic system as part of our electoral process was beset with corruption, impunity, opaqueness, and with the knowledge by the very persons who are implementing it that it was bound to fail.
Oraro told the judges that other than the voters registered in the principal register that was given to all the political parties, there were more than 70,000 votes that were cast by people whose names were on special registers.
There was therefore no margin in law after the 18th of February 2013 to create any other register.
Oraro told the court that his client's votes had been deducted in areas perceived to be Jubilee coalition strongholds in a calculated effort to ensure Kenyatta's triumph.
What we will be showing you as we go on is the process which has been done is very clever. Take a few votes from one candidate, 150, 200, reduce his numbers. Then increase a little the votes of another candidate. And by the end of the day, you have a situation where you end up in a process which achieves the result you want to achieve.
The hearing continues tomorrow, with Oraro expected to conclude his submissions between 9 and 10:30. The electoral body IEBC, its chairman Ahmed Isaka's son, President-elect Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto will tomorrow, through their lawyers, get an opportunity to respond to the critical allegations raised by Kethi, Kilonzo and George Oraro on the integrity of the March 4th race to State House. The final say, however, lies with the 6 Supreme Court judges when they make their verdict on Saturday. Francis Gachuri, Citizen Live at 9 at the Supreme Court, Nairobi.